Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're going to talk about your value. But first, I'd like to wish a very, very happy birthday to your friend and my friend, Brad. Example. And we're going to kick off by playing some of his music. This is Lonesome Feeling by Brad Example. Happy birthday, my friend. Brad Example. Boom. How do you do, everybody? Once again, happy birthday, Brad. Brad is a really close friend of mine who I came across last year, and we started emailing each other, and now we at least speak to each other at least once a day, and he makes great music, and he's an awesome person. And does he know his value? Do any of you know your value? Do I know my value? We'll talk about that soon. So I hope you're all doing well. If you're watching over on Facebook, welcome to you. You can come and join us over here on the YouTubes at youtube.com/JadeStarr, or you can head over to Twitch at twitch.tv/HowToApp on iOS. Or you can always watch the show daily in the browser at howtoapponios.com. Let's get the usual stuff out of the way of this crazy variety show that we do each day here, and have a look at any price drops that have landed. Bleece have some price drops. So Bleece Flanger is from $7.99 to $4.99, and Bleece Phaser $7.99 to $4.99. Oh yeah. A note recognizer. I don't know what that is. Maybe I could do with a bit of that in my life. But it is down from what? $49.99 to $1.99. That's a big saving. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Okay. Vocal Soloist by 4 Pockets, new rack, FX processor. Yes. Anyway, enough of that for today. By the way, there has been a really cool update I want to let you know about. Koala Sampler. If you use Koala Sampler, it just got an in-app purchase for using multiple AUV3 outs. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. It's only worth like $2, $2.90 or something. So definitely worth your time. I purchased it this morning. So definitely worth your time. Let's say hello to folks in the chat. Yes, and then we'll jump into today's W.A.R.T topic. Audible video, hello to you. Hello, Brad Example. Hello, Andy Goldsby. Speaking of Andy Goldsby, before we go on any further, next week's show is the last of the series of 4 over Songtember of these special shows, and it will feature Andy Goldsby live on the show, and we will be talking about getting your music out there, getting your shit out there, yeah? Getting people listening to it, all that kind of stuff. We've had Andy on the show before talking about this, and ever since that show, good Lord, this man Andy Goldsby and his amazing partner Stu from the Indigo Sunsets have had their music played on BBC Radio, for God's sake. This person has valuable information. If he even believes that or not himself, does he know his value? Kim Harden Hudson, hello to you. I hope you're doing well. Auntie G, always a pleasure, never a chore. Russ8889, hello to you. Hello to, let me keep scrolling and try not to miss people because I am tired. I was up late last night. Thomas Christ, always good to see you, my friend. And SM Borthwick, good to see you. Paying to get. Yes, had the sound effect ready. Rocking it today. Somehow. Gary Hubbs, hello, pizza for you, my friend. John Frank Songs, good morning to you. Good afternoon, good evening, all that stuff, wherever you are in the world. Adam Burse, Adam's got a cool Songtember. Oh, don't go there, geez. Songtember song, cooking in the oven as well, which many of you do have, so that's really cool. I can't wait to hear all these songs happening very soon. Who else have I missed in this list of wonderful people who are here today? Greg Hernandez, hello to you. Hello, Welton Kinder, or as Ron Reddy says, Ron Reddy, Welton Kinder. Bubba, hello, my friend. Another one of our amazing admins. Songtember, yes. Oh, yes, very French, Kim. Songtember. Hello, Si, always effing good to see you. I think I saw Hambo Hounslow. Thomas Gillane. Hello, Thomas. Patrick Chandler, good to see you, my friend. The whole gang is here. It's really good to see all of you. All right. I want to touch on this before we move on. So, next week, I'll be looking at something new because the kind folk at IK Multimedia sent me a present yesterday. They sent me one of these. And I plugged it in as soon as I got it. So thank you, IK Multimedia. I plugged it in. I was looking at replacing my UR22. I've had it for a while. I don't know. I just wanted to see what else was kind of out there. And so here's this wonderful little thing here. Hello, Dave Fox. This is the iRig Pro Duo 2. And can I just say, I plugged this in yesterday and recorded some vocals for about an hour with it. Wow, this thing is sick. This thing's going to replace my U.R.22. It takes up less space, and I'm blown the fuck away. Can I just say that? So I'll be doing a show on that early next week, and I will be finishing up the end of my Songtember songs using the iRig Pro Duo I.O. Yes. Did I say hi to Kim? I did say hi to Kim. Alrighty. So, indulge me if you will, folks, because we're talking about your value and my value and our value today. This is the W.A.R.T series, We All Rise Together. Do I have answers for you? Probably not. But what is this about today? I am a very firm believer in saying stuff, spitting it out of your mouth, and having it reverberate off your walls and bounce back to you so you actually start hearing it and letting it penetrate your brain. Because often we say things or we think things and we think we're doing these things, but we're not. But sometimes when you verbalize this stuff and spew it out into the atmosphere, and you're able to actually hear it and pay attention to it and maybe make the correct changes you might need to make things better, or change things from not being so good to being a little bit better, you know. So this is as much a thing for me as it is hopefully something for you. Why? Because you're valuable. Without you, and Pete does the joke all the time. I do the joke of me, you know, disappearing and going whoosh. Oh, that was the wrong one. Whoosh, wrong one. I don't even have one set up here. That's pretty crap. Let's do it over here. So, you know, I do the joke if it wasn't for you guys. There we go. It worked. But, no, because you are valuable to me, and hopefully I have value for you. What is value? Before I do it, indulge me, please, because I'm going to put some music on in the background just to have something playing in the background. And I'm going to play my unreleased Dread Circus album, which has been many years in the making and getting very close to being released as well. So I'm just going to hit play on it. Keep it nice and low down here, because I need to hear it. I need to be reminded this is a thing. Alrighty, so let's get into this shit show, shall we? Value. The meaning of value. What is value, and what is valuable to you? I am unable to answer that. Only you are able to answer that for yourself. And sometimes, you know, you're not able to answer that for yourself. I'm unable to answer that question for myself quite often. What is my value? Across many, many things. Hello, Black Covers. Welcome to the show. Across my music, across many, many things. Now, this isn't all about money. I know in the title here, it says you and your music, and I've put a $ in there. All right. But it's not just about the money, of course. And I will address that. So what are some things that we will talk about today in this particular show? They will include money, in no particular order, health, emotional well-being, time, what you create, what others create, and what you create with others, because there's a fair bit of that goes on within this community that we are amazingly all a part of. Yeah. So I'm going to kick off first with health, because let's be honest, without health, none of this is going to happen. Yeah. None of it. Not a fucking iota. So we've got to look after ourselves. That's the most important thing. And what are the things that we need to look after to be creative, to be able to make the music, to be able to put a price on the music we make, to be able to do all this kind of stuff? Sleep. And do any of us get enough of it? I don't. Do you? I'm sure most of you don't get enough sleep. Can you get more? I think we all can get more sleep if we allow ourselves to. Does getting more sleep actually help you do things better? Not all the time. Not in my experience anyway, but your results may vary. Sometimes oversleeping can make things a lot worse, I guess. Getting enough sleep. I know. I can see people laughing. I can see Thomas straight away laughing. What is sleep? Who gets what? I can't remember. It was so long ago since I actually had enough of it. Well, I've had lots of people say to me, when do you sleep? I actually sleep a fucking lot. I sleep a real lot. Due to my health, I spend a lot of time in bed. And this is what part of the reason I get up each morning at 6 a.m. Do I need to get up at 6 a.m. each morning? Not really. I do like to actually reach people in the US and the UK at a time that's kind of sort of decent. And that's part of the reason. But part of the reason, as I've explained many times before, is if I didn't do it early, I'd just stay in bed all day. And I'm sure there's many of you out there who have dealt with health issues and stuff like that. Sometimes it's really hard to get out of bed. Sometimes it's really hard to get to bed. But sleep is important. So to keep that in the back of your mind that's constantly thinking and worrying around, sleep is important. It's a part of your health, yeah? Eating right. I know, it's just really boring stuff. And what you eat, what you consider as eating right is completely different to what I think. As I had a pizza last night, but I cooked it myself. I didn't order it. But no, these are basic fundamental things. And I know you're probably saying, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm here to find out how much I'm worth. Well, you're worth a lot. And all these things are important. Because, again, if you're not functioning properly, then you aren't functioning properly writing songs. And it will come through. It will show. All these things add up to show a product or whatever you're making, or it shines through. Health includes, of course it's for wimps, Russ. That's why you're so weak. Come on, Russ, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Hobbies, man. Hobbies comes under health for me, right? Because you've got to have, I think, you have to value your time away from creativity, right? You can't be making stuff 24 hours a day. I know I wish I could be doing that, but, you know, time. And we'll talk about time soon because it's on the list. But hobbies are important. Other pursuits are important for your creativity, I do believe. Why? Because you can get bogged down with your creativity. You can get bogged down worrying about writing a biography for yourself, worrying about creating logos and all this stuff for your music. And it's like playing a video game to me. How many of you, I mean, if you do play video games here, let me know in the chat. How many of you have played a video game, got stuck on a level, and got to the point where you want to throw your controller at the wall? You've had enough. You're ready to go. You're ready to smash everything. And then you turn off the console and you come back the next day or the day later, turn it on, and instantly you get past that level. But the last time you were playing it, man, you just couldn't get past it. It was just doing your fucking head in. Well, it's the same principle, I think, you know, with hobbies and creating music, that we can get bogged down sometimes with trying to do a vocal take, trying to get like a part down on a song, whatever it is. With your creativity, it can wear you down because you're trying to create this thing and it's not working. Go and do something else. Look after your health. Your health is important, and stimuli outside of creativity is important too. Not only does it like give you a break from the stress and mundaneness or the struggle of trying to put things out, it gives you ideas. There's plenty of times I've gone away and done something else and come up with other ideas for my creativity, yeah? Hello, Mike Holmes. Good to see you, my friend. You got stuck on Spyro the Dragon, level 1997, I think. It was the end of me for video games. Well, you know what, Mike? If you loaded up Spyro right now and went back to that level, I'm sure you would complete it first go. Because it's Murphy's Law. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. Family and friends. Family and friends. Hey, not all of us have family. So you can take this with a grain of salt. I particularly don't have family. But I do have plenty of friends. And when I'm feeling stuck, or when I'm you know, not feeling creative, want to take a break, I do reach out with a lot of you people here who are my friends. So you got to remember, I'm locked down. I've been locked down for weeks. It feels like 10 years. But family and friends are important. Don't neglect these people because, you know, at the end of the day, they're probably the only ones who are still who've supported your music and your creativity from the very beginning. They're the ones who've had to listen to everything you've ever made, you know, and they continue to. They may not like it, especially like in my case, like death metal, but make time for these people. Don't completely like, you know, put everything into the basket of creativity because, you know, you will regret that. And hello, Dean Thomas. Good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Taking a break. Taking a break comes into health. And it's good to take a break. For example, mixing down music, mastering music. We sit here sometimes if we don't have monitors to be able to listen too loud, we sit under headphones. And I used to be very guilty of this. Not taking a break, mastering music with headphones on for 4 hours straight. Trust me, after about 30 minutes, take the headphones off, walk away, because you're not going to get quality products because your ears will get fucked up and you'll start thinking you're hearing something really good and you're not. So the health of your ears are important. Singing, you know, if you're singing and you're starting to feel your voice get a bit scratchy, sometimes that works and you go with it. If you're trying to get that rough kind of sound, move to a part in a song where you can actually use that roughness to kind of, you know, get that part down. But if you're starting to feel tired, worn down, don't push it, man. Don't push it. Take a rest. These things are important for your value because your value overall, everything is you. You're the living object. You're the musical instrument. You're the living, beating heart of your creativity. Yeah. Gamer's posture, says Bubba. Man, I don't even know what my posture's called. It's a mix between Gladys Worthington, gamer's posture, and sitting up in bed sideways watching TV the wrong way. All right, so we've covered health. Let's talk about emotional well-being because it's tied very much in to your health, you know, and it's a thing which many of us. There's been a lot going on, man, in the world. There's been a lot going on in the world, and I think many of us on this planet have had to evaluate the value of things in general. I mean, with all this stuff that's happened with this crazy contagion that has taken over, I said the C word, yes. We've had a lot of time to reflect. We've had a lot of time locked down. We've had a lot of time to look at the way we operate in the world, the way we exchange business, so many things that we're reevaluating, yeah? And I'm sure all of you at some stage along, seriously, the last year and a half, have had to deal with some kind of mental health thing that you may not have dealt with before. So, and why is it important to talk about mental health openly? Because we write music, or we're creators. So we create a lot of emotional things about what's going on in our heads, what's going on around us. We are vessels or muses or so, you know, it depends on what, there's a million names you could call it. But we shine as musicians. I know I like to try to, across many of my different musical projects, shine a light back on society. Talk about things that maybe are fanciful or you know, but we need to be emotionally fit for this stuff. So mental health is extremely important. Stress, man, stress. Now, this section's more for me too, because I need to listen to this stuff. As much as me talking at you or talking to you guys, I need to listen to this stuff. Stress, taking a break. I'm shit at this stuff. I don't take a break. I push and push and push and push, and I acknowledge it. I do understand that I do it, and I'm trying every day to fix it and take time off, because I do actually understand now. If I take a day off for myself, I know you're all still going to be here the next day. I understand this. It's hard though, because you know you try to create something. I try and do this for not for me so much, but for you. So I don't want to let people down, but I know that I'm not if I take a break. And you know what I mean? You're not letting somebody down if you take a break. It's okay. For example, one of my favorite vocalists, Mike Patton from Faith No More, yesterday cancelled an entire tour. Cancelled an entire Mr. Bungle and Faith No More tour. And actually put on his Facebook, he's taking a break for mental health reasons. I was blown away, man. He's my idol, my favorite musician of all time, somebody who I thought was absolutely tougher than fucking nails, saying that he needs a break for mental health. It humanized him. It was like, oh my God, he's human. You know, now I love him even more. And I know, man, because things have been so tough, I know I've become a workaholic where I used to be a lazy piece of shit before the pandemic. I'm just being honest. Speaking of hydration, good stuff. Hydration, do it. Oh yeah, that H2O. So yeah, stress. All of these things tie into each other too. Stress ties into taking a break, having these hobbies, having these things to do outside of music, yeah? So, depression, grief, anxiety, these are all things that are real, yeah? And then there are different levels for different people, you know? Some people they may not affect, like Russ. He's impervious to it, apparently. Bullshit. But... But these things happen, and you know what? We've done quite a few series on this stuff. In these W.A.R.T series, we looked at depression and anxiety and these things. And the reason I did those on this show is because I think it's important to talk about. So remember, not only are we here as a community, as people, you know, rising together and looking after each other with our music. Pay attention to the people that we're making music with, because you should be able to read if they're not feeling well, and we have that power to up each other if we need be. And hey, you may not be in the right space to do that for somebody, so don't. That's okay. Gary says, I have to get back to work. My music doesn't carry the same monetary value as my paycheck. Yep, damn straight. I think we can all agree on that, yeah? I think we're all in the same boat there. It would be a good thing. Can I change that? I'm sorry, I can't. But hopefully, with some of the things that we talk about on this, it can at least help you be prepared to keep making music, because you never know when things will blow up. It is what it is. Remember to celebrate the highs. Yeah? And what are those highs? It doesn't matter. It could only be that one person streamed your song on the day. It could be that 3 people said that they left you a comment. Whatever it is, remember to celebrate the highs. Remember, and I'm not saying get a fucking 3 bottles of champagne and drink yourself into a stupor. One person downloaded my album. Well, I got enough sleep after that. I was fucked. Unless that's what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. But, you know, remember to acknowledge them, I guess. And celebrate's probably a bit of a crazy, overreacting word. Or get high, whatever it is. But acknowledge them. And, you know, make sure you even, no matter how big they are, because it's important. And don't always focus on the lows, right? Because, you know, this is life. It's an 80s dance. It's rap, all right? It's never going to be that. If it gets to that, you're dead, right? So the ups and downs, the highs and lows, they're all worth celebrating. And it's good for your health to understand, to, you know, acknowledge that as well, that the lows are going to come at you thick and fast, and the highs may not be as thick and fast. So celebrate them. Acknowledge them, you know? Don't focus on negative comments around your creativity. Don't even respond. Don't even waste the energy. It's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. I'll tell you what I used to do. I used to get negative comments, and I would sit there and I would write these huge passages of complete full-on smart-assery, right? that would put this person back in their box and be funny as fuck. And it would take me like an hour and a half to write this huge piece, and I would hit send and go, and then I'd block them so I couldn't get like the time to see their response. And then one day I just thought, why the fuck am I wasting so much time on this fucking person who I don't even know? So don't focus on that stuff, yeah? Don't do it. Oh, look, it's Pete Johnson. He's tired. Dude, you were tired last night. You were so sleepy on Mike Enjo's show. I thought you were going to nod off. God, unbelievable. Am I putting you to sleep, Pete? Unbelievable. This guy pops in here, says he's fallen asleep, and then he fucks off. Never says hello to anybody. Pete's got a show after this as well today, so head over there and support Pete Johns. There you go. There's my advertising for the day. Yeah, tell him a story, Thomas. Put him to bed. He's only just woken up. Okay, let's talk about what you create. The value in what you create. Because I'll tell you straight up, I know many of you here, and I think, and if I don't know you, always feel welcome to say hello. Because I want to get to know you. I want to know what you're making. This is the most important thing about this channel, yeah? This is not just about apps. I want to see what you're making from these apps, from these tutorials, from all this stuff. I want to see it. I want to celebrate it. This is the thing, right? So, what you create. How do you make the time to create? Yeah? How do you... Because there isn't much time. And what time we have is valuable. Going back to our value proposition. And what you create is valuable. So making the time to create. Because we all have different lives. Some of us have our day jobs. Some of us have family. Finding the right balance to create is important. You know? And not... You know what? Here's what's really important. Not beating yourself up if you were unable to utilize that time in that particular day that you set aside to actually create something, yeah? Because it's not always going to happen, because things are going to get in the way. So don't beat yourself up over that stuff, because there is time. Time is, we go on about things being time poor, right? Many of us are time poor, but there's plenty of time, yeah? There is time. Unless you die tomorrow, then you're dead and there's no time. But even when you're sick, and I mean, I remember recording a lot of this music, this album that I've been working on for ages, while I was in hospital for 3 months. It was 2 months. Is that right? Yeah, it's 2 months. So I recorded a lot of this in hospital. So there's time. It's just not always the time that you maybe expect there to be, even if you set aside the time. But time, incorporating your creativity into your daily routine. So that's where I'm heading with this. So if you commute to places, there's opportunities there to create and get value from quite a valueless operation from your day job. If you're traveling to a day job each day on public transport or something like that, there are opportunities to get value out of something that is quite valueless, like traveling or something like that. So how do you create? When are you the most creative? I'm going to just throw some questions out there. Where do you create and who you create with? All these things are important. Don't create music with people who are fuckheads. Yeah? Don't do it. Try to decipher as soon as you can if this person is a fucking time-wasting cunt. There you go. Blunt as I can fucking be. Because if you're dragging them along to do something, it's not worth it. So, because what happens is the value in what you're creating becomes valueless because that person is a horrible person, yeah? And Russ wrote, this goes back to what I was saying. Russ wrote all of his album from his bed. I wrote most of this album that I'm playing here from bed. There is no right way to create music, or a right place, or a right time, you know. It's ever evolving. So, and again, it's going to go back to not beating yourself up. So I may sound like I'm talking a load of shit today because I'm kind of free-forming with these shows. It's hard to script this stuff. I'm just talking from the heart, you know. I hope you understand that. But what you create is extremely important, and it has value, right? And I'm not talking about monetary value, because, all right, I'm just going to go out and say this, and I don't want to like offend people. You don't need to create something every week. You don't need to have something out. You can do it, and I'm not saying not to, but you don't need to. So you can take more time to create things that have been a little bit more baked better. You don't need to. It's like what I said earlier about doing this show, right? If I take a couple of days off from this, nothing's going to change. You guys are all still going to be here. I may like not get as many views that day, but shit happens, you know, and it all just comes back. So you don't have to. You can, but you don't have to like have something released every week to keep yourself relevant. Yeah, because you've got to be. You can't burn yourself out, is what I'm trying to say with your creativity. If you're forcing things out, you will water things down, and you what you're creating will be not as good. So take more time with your creativity. Give it more value. It has value. It has a lot of value, the things that you create. I'm going to talk about this now. I'm just going to jump to this because I think this is really important. How much you support what other people create. Now, this is important because there's many of us here who every week head over to shows like You Rock and YML and over to Ron Ward's show, right? And we all support each other, what each other make. And that's awesome. You know, I tried to do it as much as I possibly can for all of you guys. And I know all of you do the same back to me and with each other. But don't burn yourself out on that. What do I mean by that? So supporting what others create is awesome. But you do need to have time available to create for yourself. Right? Because you can get tied up in constantly being there for other people, right? It's like, that everyone's got that family friend or family member who's always got a catastrophe going on in their life, and you're always there for that person, and then before too long, there's no time for you. And I'm not saying that there's anybody in this community who are like that. Please don't take it that way. But balance, again, balance. Give as much as you get, and sometimes give a little bit more, and sometimes give a little bit less, because sometimes the same will come back to you. But, you know, I think including this kind of thing in with taking a break and hobbies and stuff, supporting people is a great way to actually, help your creativity flow. How many of us, let's cut it down to this. Many of us have sat in YML each week on Pete John's Your Music Live, and we've watched these people, these selfish people, pop into the chat and just go, "Hi, check out my song." And you know what we do as moderators in there, and what Pete does? We ignore them, because we know that they don't give a shit about anyone else in that chat, anyone else who's being played. They're just there to sell their shit. And you know what? I'm going to give a home truth. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. These people who come into chats like that and go, "Hey, check out my song. It's absolute fire." Trust me, nearly every fucking time you go listen to it, it's shit. It's shit music. I'm sorry. Hard truths, man. People who are so involved in their own music and trying to shove it down your face without actually giving a fuck about what anybody else does normally means their music's shit. They don't give a fuck about taking on any criticism or any or conversing with other people, offering advice, taking advice. They don't give a fuck. And their music ain't fire. I'll tell you what, it's as cold as ice and nobody gives a shit. And who wants to hang out with somebody who just walks in the room and goes, hey, everybody, check out my song. It's fire. Yeah, fuck off. Sorry. Dunning-Kruger effect at work. Exactly. Please listen to Dumbass Poop Flinger. And look, we don't, as moderators over on the show, we don't make a big issue about it and go, hey, I'll bet your music's ugly shit, or, you know. We just normally put them in a timeout and let them think about it. You know, Pete doesn't even address it. Pete's the fence sitter. But this goes back to like supporting what other people create, right? If you don't give a shit about what other people are creating, why should they give a shit about you? Because it's not always about money, yeah? And you'll notice I've left money till last today. Being available to help others. This is a thing too. Don't always be available to help others. Say no. I need to learn this. I'm saying this for me right now. And maybe, hopefully it's helpful to you as well. But it's okay to say no. Right? Help as much as you can, but it's okay to say no. It really is. And I need to I'm going to say it again with some reverb. Jade, it's okay to say no. Hopefully that got through this time. But it is okay to say no, because, you know, you need to keep your creativity up as well. And that's part of why I look forward to Songtember each year, because I get a chance to kick off the second half of the year and create for myself, while at the same time having the pleasure of doing these shows and showing you my creative process. But by the end of it, I'm releasing some stuff, you know? Does anybody here get jealous seeing other people creating? Let's just do it. Let's just talk about it. Let's just bring in the old Uncle Pervy in the corner, sit him down naked, and let's just expose him to the room. It's okay to admit it. Do you get jealous? Sometimes maybe you pop over to YML and maybe you haven't created a song in about 3-4 months. And here's all these people releasing all this music each week. And you're like, fuck, I haven't released anything. It's okay to be jealous. And I'm not talking about like jealousy where, you know, you want to go out and murder people. You know. Geez, that got dark quick, didn't it? Well, sometimes, right, I'll sit there sometimes and watch YML. I'm using a lot of YML for an example tonight. Sometimes I will sit there and go, God, everyone's so creative. So everyone's so creative. And you know what? And I used to be on the toilet break every week. The toilet break was mine. But you know what's really beautiful? I myself don't need to have something released every week. I rather like to take time. And I just love seeing other people have their music out. And you know what? When something does get played of mine, to me it's special. I've got no time for jealousy. So if you... And Bubba's a little jealous over my iRig. Well, there goes the resale value on that. Easy come, easy go. I think it's a good thing to celebrate people's successes as well, you know, because or get involved. Get involved with people's successes. Look at me, right? I do my Patreon, and why do I do my Patreon? Not you know, I don't sit there going, hey, I want all the money in the world. I look at it now as like a mastering thing. I get to hang out with my friends on the weekend, do a show, hear their music, and I get to be involved in their music on a really personal level, like Russ, Cy, Kim, so many of you who come over to my Patreon each week. We sit around and I get to listen to your stuff, and I get to be a part of it by mastering it. I got no time to be jealous. I get to be so much of a part, and I'm incredibly thankful for that, because I'll tell you what, I'm a really shit collaborator. I suck at it. I'm the worst. Kev will tell you that. I'm the worst. But this is the best way I can collaborate and pump people up. And being constructive with your words of wisdom that you give to people within what others create. Be constructive. Like me and Pete were on Mike and Joe's show over at Creative Source yesterday, and we were joking before that I was the bad cop and Pete was the fence sitter, and this was how it was all going to go down. You know what? It didn't go down that way because I can't be a total asshole. But I tried to be constructive, and I tried with each song that was played, because that's what I'm on the show to do, was analyze the song, say what I think is good, and say what I think could be improved. So it was really hard to be because I'm just not that, even though I play in a band called Filthy Negative. All right, let's move on to time. Time, tick-tock, 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 because we're running out of it. Will there ever be enough time? You know what? Yes, there will be. There's plenty of time. There are people creating things from their deathbed right now. You know, a very famous artist released an album on their deathbed before his car was shot into space. The spaceman himself released an album on his deathbed. There is time even as you are dying. There may not seem to be all the time in the world, but time's relevant, and time has different value to different people, yeah? And it all comes down to your time management. And you know what? You may have the greatest time management system in the world, but it's going to change. It'll always be evolving, just like you. Pete says, jealousy is such a wasted emotion. The only time you should be worried about what other people are doing is to make sure they're okay and see how you might be able to help them. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Time management's important, but you can't control the world. You can't control what happens. You can't control illness. You can't control things that happen in your family, finances, work. All this stuff kicks you in the guts sometimes. Remember, we're riding the up and down the wave. So time management has to move with the wave that we're surfing. Yeah, we're all just surfing. Again, time for yourself. Hello, Andy Dion. Good to see you. Time for yourself. Time to create. Time to relax, eat, rest, and sleep. We've kind of covered these things. Time has value. But what is that value? That's up to you to decide. Is it monetary value? For some, yes. Is it value just to rest and get your breath back in the world that's seemingly spinning out of control? Maybe that's your value. Everybody has a different meaning of value. And these are questions you need to answer for yourself. But by putting this stuff out there, I absolutely, Russ. Take Russ's advice. Don't take advice from anybody, especially me. And don't forget everything I just said. All right. Here's something I want to talk about with time. And I'm the worst with this. Releasing your music is important. Okay? Why is it important to release your music? Because it can become a burden. It can become a massive burden. And remember, and I'm going to thank Andy for this because we talked about this in Clubhouse the other night. Once you release your music, that burden that you have been carrying is no longer on your shoulders because it's now other people's. It's in the open domain. It's not yours anymore. It's for other people to enjoy. And hopefully you enjoy it as well. That's important, man. You got to enjoy your music. You know what? If you ever meet somebody who looks at you sideways for listening to your own music, tell them to absolutely, unequivocally fuck off. Because if you can't listen to your own music and enjoy it, why are you putting it out, man? All right? But don't hold on to it. Let it go. You know what? It's sometimes, and I've really learnt this with my Kindercore thing recently. I'll say it again. In my opinion, Kindercore is not the best thing I've released. It's not something that I really want to go back to and masturbate over, if you catch my drift. But it's been released. It's out there. There's not much I can do about that now. And it was a really good lesson for me to just let go of something like that and just let it go. Now it's the public's domain. What I think about it doesn't really matter. It's yours now. I can go back and listen to it. But letting it go is an important thing. release is good, right? Release is good. If you're going to masturbate and not ejaculate, you're going to frustrate, right? I know that's a really bad analogy, but you need to release. So don't be an edgelord with your music. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be an edgelord. You know, let it go. Let it go. Get over the line. And you know what? Time is money. Time is money. And that brings me to the last thing we're going to talk about today is money. Because it's ugly. Money's ugly. All right? Didn't even really want to talk about this because it's ugly, and friendships get fucked up over it. Family gets fucked over it. So much gets fucked up over money. All right? Money's it's a mind fuck. It's something. I'm going to go into my spiel about money because money it's make believe. The only reason it exists is because we allow it to have value. Like all of this stuff, yeah? Value is your own perception. How much value do you place on it is totally up to you, how much value you allow it to have in your life. And money, in my opinion, has fuck all value. The only value it has is the value that we allow it to have. Unfortunately, we live in a system where we need money. It's been forced upon us where money is a absolute evil that we need to survive, to eat, to be able to do all these things. Shouldn't be that way, but it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah? All right, I'm going to kick off with this. Love jobs. As an artist and a struggling artist, yeah? Because we're all releasing music through DistroKid and all this stuff. We may put it up on Bandcamp and offer it for free. We're all doing love jobs, yeah? We're all creating this stuff and getting very little return for the input that we put into it monetarily. We're all experiencing it. There's no two ways about it. But within all employment, all jobs, you start off in a shit pit. You start off fucking making coffees. You start off sweeping the floor. It's pretty much a thing, right? Is it going to always be like that? Maybe. With music. Maybe not. Maybe you can get to a comfortable point. I don't know. But love jobs are a way to get your foot in the door and at least, helping people, collaborating with people. These are love jobs, right? These are things that you do because you enjoy them, because you love doing them, yeah? You love doing them. You know you're not going to get any money back for them, but you never know what's around the corner. Love jobs are important, yeah? Sorry, I get the term love jobs because I used to work in a pizzeria, and the guy who ran the pizzeria was the smallest pizzeria on this entire block of Lygon Street, which is a huge Italian restaurant section here in Melbourne. He was the tiniest store compared to all the big restaurants, right? But what he did right was heaps of love jobs. He gave free pizzas to people. He gave pizzas to the cops for free. He gave a lot of pizzas away. And by the end, he ended up dominating that whole street by the time I left after 2.5 years, because he ended up buying out the next 2 restaurants down from him. Why? Love jobs, man. And he always used to say it to me, "Hey, you got to do a love job every now and again." You know what I'm saying? If you don't do the love jobs, then, anyway, I'm really going into racist territory there, doing impersonations of accents. What the fuck? All right. Damn. And everybody loves free pizza, yeah? How much are you worth? How much are you worth? Have you thought about that? Have you had to sit there and think about how much you're worth? I've been thinking about it lately. Because I'm thinking I've been building up a portfolio of music that I've been mastering for you guys. And soon I think I'm going to try and make a go of it, doing mastering for people. How much do I charge? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. And every time I think about it, my brain hurts. But it's important to try and understand what you think your value is. And you know what? How do you come to that? I don't know. But what I'm hoping from today, even myself saying all this, is taking all of these things into account and trying to come up with some kind of monetary value from all of these things. How is it going to help me get my sleep, my rest, my food, be able to have enough time to support the people I care about musically, the creative things, my health, my emotional well-being? All of that has to come into the factor of how much time is it going to take on monetary value? Because at the end of the day, all I need to get back from it is to pay the bills to keep me alive. That's the most important thing. Yeah? And if you can cover that thing, that's why I've left this last. If you can slightly just make enough to even just to take the edge off, then you'll be freer and healthier in the head and everything else to be able to do the things that make you happy. Yeah. How do you value your songs? Well, thankfully, if you use DistroKid, you don't really get a choice. You get a choice between 3 prices normally. So for a single 99 cents, is my song worth 69 cents, 99 cents, or $1.29? Luckily, you get a choice. Now, I saw Thomas Gillane recently put a post up on Facebook asking, I'm putting my music up on Bandcamp. Do you think $9 is too much? Or do you think people will pay for it? The question is it too much for me to pay for? What do you think it's worth, Thomas Gillane? Do you think it's worth $9? You obviously put $9 down on it, so I think you know what it. If you think that's what it's worth, that's okay. Does it dictate what people download? Because things like Bandcamp have an honor system. So if you don't want to put a price on it, if you don't have the balls to put a price on it, yeah, you can leave it up to the people purchasing it. You know what? And I'm not speaking for anyone else except for me here. But when I look at Bandcamp, this is just my experience. When I see somebody who's put on their music, name your price, I feel bad. I don't want to name my price. I don't want to pay something and then do you get what I'm coming with this? I would rather there be a price on it so I can just pay that price and go, cool, I really like it anyway. But putting the pressure back on me to decide what I think it's worth when I haven't bought it yet, or I haven't had time to listen to it properly, or I just don't like that. That's just me. Sorry, it is what it is. So is it important to put a price on your music? Sure, man. You made it. You've got the creative control to do so. Why not? Why the fuck not? If you want to charge $100 for your album, fucking do it. You might not sell many, but if you want to do it, why the fuck not? It's up to you. But I think it is important. I think it's important to think about the value that you put into it. Yeah, because there's a lot of all these things that we've talked about today that you've put into it to get to this point. Yeah, you've put in writing the bio, creating all these, the branding, all the mental health and stuff, all the stuff you've gone through, all this shit has all culminated to this project that you finally released. Why not put a price on it and just go for it? You know, who's gonna question it? I really don't believe there's a large enough portion of society who will see a price on something and go, what? $9? Never. I don't think that's a real thing. I think, and this is just my opinion, remember, take my opinion with a grain of salt. I think it puts more pressure on the person purchasing your music to make a decision on what they think, because you could insult the artist. That's what I think. Hey, if I go $2, that's insulting. Maybe it's insulting. And that person goes, oh, fucking $2? Really? I put in a fucking year into this album. Just my opinion. But don't be afraid to put a price on it, yeah? Because you've put all these things in that we've talked about today. And this applies to your art. Look how much art goes for, man. Look how much art goes for. Look how much these, what are they called? The fucking pieces of digital images and stuff go for. Millions of dollars. And it's a piece of digital it's a photo. Fuck off. So I think $9 ain't too bad. Yeah? Yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm getting at. Thomas Christ has nailed it right there. You get an email saying, so-and-so thought your album you worked on for months and months was worth $0. Yeah, NFTs, sorry. Fuck. NFTs selling for millions of dollars. And we're sitting here going, oh, fuck, do you think somebody will buy my awesome music that I've made for $9? Oh, fuck. Maybe I'll just let them name the price. Oh. There are people buying shit that fucking doesn't exist for millions of dollars. Andy Goldsby says, you've always got to check yourself sometimes and remind yourself why you're making music in the first place. Yep, great if you get some money back. If that's the only motivation, you'll struggle. Absolutely. And we talked about this at the start of the show. Most of us are not going to make millions of dollars of this. Most of us are not even going to be able to like feed our families and all this stuff. I'm not able to like pay my bills and cover my life doing this YouTube caper. And I've been at it for what, 15 months, doing a show nearly every day, busting my ass every day. I'm still struggling as fuck with this YouTube thing. And I'm not complaining, trust me. It's putting in the hard yards, but it's not about the money. It's about you guys. It's about me getting up. The same thing as why I started this channel was just to get up every day out of bed and have something to focus on so I wasn't trapped in bed every day. And it's become something, it's about you. I love supporting you guys, and I love seeing what you guys create. And I love that through this, I get to create things as well. So, all these things come into play. How much you spend on production. Look, time is money and money is time. Let's just end it on that. You are the most valuable thing. More than money will ever be of value. That, let's be honest, your value doesn't have a price. So that's it for today. That's what I want to end on. Thanks for hanging out and letting me talk shit. Again, hello Ed B. Good to see you lurking in the darkness. Pete's got a show coming up really soon. And like, as I say at the end of each and every show, I know it's a catchphrase, but it's something I've stood by forever and a day. Do the things that make you happy. Oh, hello, Sean. I didn't say hello to you. Do the things that make you happy. That's the most important thing, all right? And make the mistakes because they make you better. And I will continue to do the things that make me happy. And I will continue to make mistakes in front of you as much as I possibly can. And be as transparent as I possibly can. Because ultimately, we all rise together. And I'm going to go out today. Let's turn down this music here. I can stop this. I'm going to continue playing some selfish music for myself. Let's just do this. And I'm going to go out today by playing a track. Something that you've heard me play all the time, a lot. Let me just find it. One sec. So this is a very old recording of one of my favorite songs, and I'm going to play this. I'll be back tomorrow looking at, what is the app I'm looking at tomorrow? Kajita. It's really fun, really cool multi-delay and reverb app. And then next week I'll be looking at this, the iRig Pro Duo, and continuing the FMC album and stuff. But what I'm going to do right now is go out with exactly what I've said. This is a very old recording of this song. Thanks for being here. Hit the like, do the subscribe stuff, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And one more time, do the things that make you happy, yeah? Because you're important and you have value. I'll see you later. Your true self is themselves. They're not thinking about you. So why do so many people lash out in public at a person for being 100% themselves? You can believe in yourself 100% without being an asshole. I was unhappy for many a year in my life. Emotions going on a roller coaster suicide. I truly hated myself because I feared the worst. Nobody would love me for me. Telling everything is punished in life. And honesty is something I find very hard to believe. The anger was building inside of me when all I really wanted to do was cry. When everything was going bad, let it out, don't be so sad. Cry, don't let the drama make you mad. Try to Happy birthday, Brad.